purpose of research? Is the creation of new knowledge or rediscovery of what nature has already experimented and learned? Correlation does not imply cause-effect relationship. That has to be studied separately. Even if you know cause-effect relationship, the dynamics of interaction across many cause-effect relationships over time is what sets the system in its state as of today. Citations contain knowledge already extracted. Hence, they are a powerful tool for researchers' productivity. There are many other situations which we have not encountered, and hence data is not available such scenarios. In research, fundamental objective is to go beyond the realm of what we know. As I was discussing the topic of redefining research in the AI age, the particular topic on which I was asked to focus has been citations are useful or useful products and solutions. What should be the future of research? In other words, setting the context as to what the research should be in future. Should it be as it is now, meaning publications with many citations in a reasonably good journal? Is that considered as the high quality research, sufficient research, or do we need to go beyond that to say it should also result in useful products and services? Research is solving real life problems, and research and entrepreneurship. I'm going to spend the next few minutes only defining the context in which we are going to discuss all of this. The rest of them will come through the discussions, panel discussions we have today. So let me first give you the framework for our discussion. What is the purpose of research? Is the creation of new knowledge or rediscovery of what nature has already experimented and learned. Hence, learning is inclusive of discovery. It is new knowledge to us, nevertheless necessary and useful, but we need to keep it at the back of our mind that what we call discovery has already been discovered by nature by its constant experimentation over millions of years. So it is only we unraveling the mysteries of nature. They have stabilized after nature's experimentation over many, many millennia of the period. The next question is, do we accept past as a guide to the present and future? Is that in our culture, in our blood, in our research ecosystem? Do we know where we are now, where we were? Do we need this knowledge to map into the future? This is a critical question. If the answer is yes, then studies pertaining to the past and the present to separate the chaff from the wheat, also research and knowledge creation. In other words, anything that we do to study the past, to understand where we come from and where we are now, and present it in a meaningful way so that it enables us to project into the future, can also be considered research. This is very, very important because such an analysis provides us with the insights and perspectives needed to go further. I come from the world of analytics, and it gives us an excellent framework for the discussions that we mean to have now. The world of analytics defines three stages: descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. What do they mean? Descriptive meaning your ability to present the current state, describe it as it is, meaning with all the independent variables moving forward on their own, as well as all the control variables that we impose as humans on the system. Based on that, what is the current state of the system? Can we first describe it in a meaningful way, cutting out all the extraneous things which are irrelevant to the context of our study. That is the descriptive part. Predictive is into the future. Okay, if this system continues the same way as it is now, where will it be 3 months from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now? Meaning, things are as it is today and we project it to the future. That is called predictive analytics. Now, on top of that, if you want to play around with the control variables and change from what they are today, meaning you are ready to exercise your discretion and choice and modify the controls that you have in hand and then see where the system will be. That is called prescriptive. So we are talking about descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. So anything and everything that we do with AI, without AI, we want to know where we are, where will we be without any change, and where will you be with modifying what can be changed by us. And we also understand the world in general through correlations. We study the systems and say, this is related to this. This moves along with this, moves against this. That is correlation. Correlation does not imply cause-effect relationship. That has to be studied separately. And even if you know cause-effect relationship, the dynamics of interaction across many cause-effect relationships over time is what sets the system in its state as of today. So we need to understand that as well. The research then implies putting these two together and reaching to a meaningful conclusions. In this context, what has AI done to the world of research? This is the fundamental issue that we are confronted with. I don't carry coal to Newcastle. I'm sure everyone here has known a lot about AI and studied, read. I will only summarize and say, whatever the interaction between entities due to internal and external forces, their original and resultant state are all contained in data. This is the fundamental presumption in AI. Hence, prediction is possible by analyzing vast amounts of data. In other words, the emphasis is on studying data. It's also obvious that they do not reveal the cause-effect relationships by themselves. This is not required for prediction. This is yet another revelation coming to us from AI. However, as of date, the AI technology is imperfect in prediction and far away from meaningful prescription. Real world requires more reliable description, prediction, and prescription. Hence, since AI gives only partial answer to these questions, it can only be a support tool at this moment. Now let's talk about citations. What do they contain? Citations contain knowledge already extracted. Hence, they are a powerful tool for researchers' productivity. Newton said, I see farther because I stand on the shoulders of my predecessors. Citations are a storehouse of knowledge. They can also incite the researcher to discover new methodologies, let creative thoughts emerge. Hence, their role in research cannot be underrated. Purpose of research then can be defined generation of new knowledge to output products or solutions or to provide better insights and perspectives. Now, untangling the cause-effect relationship. As we already know, AI is poor at doing this. Any prediction done without untangling the cause-effect relationship does not instill confidence or trust in us. What does that mean to applications and application research? In the corporate world, we can do torture testing. In other words, if the prediction is such and such, we test the system with enormous amount of inputs and see that output matches with the expected results. This we can do any amount of time and almost subject the system to what we call comprehensive or torture testing. With that, some of the applications may be put to use if they're innocuous. In other words, their negative impact at any given time is not going to be mission critical. They are not going to halt the system completely. They give us the opportunity to intervene and correct when things go wrong. In such occasions, corporate world can get into applied research that has been done using AI. Academic research, on the other hand, requires good understanding of input, output, and processing. The black box approach does not work in basic research. Hence, academic work, any research work done here has to be a lot more trustable, reliable, and hence, without untangling the cause-effect relationships, one would be very wary of accepting the output of any AI system, which means we have to understand the behavior of data. What do I see as the major shortcomings of going with data, putting all the eggs in one basket called data analysis? Data, what we see, is a subset of the universe of data. It contains only the situations that we have encountered so far, which means there are many other situations which we have not encountered, and hence data is not available such scenarios. In research, a fundamental objective is to go beyond the realm of what we know. Look at the world that we don't know. If you want to go into that world and discover something, it necessarily means you need to step out of the feasible data zone or available data zone and have to get beyond this. That means you have to be very, very cautious in interpreting anything about AI output in the context of research. And equally important is understanding the data is fully embedded with human bias of all kinds, many known and some unknown, which means if you want to take decisions based on this data and its analysis and results, you have to be, once again, very, very careful. And particularly in research, it can lead us to inappropriate conclusions. Hence, in my summary, I want to say at this time, use AI as a supportive tool by all means. It improves your productivity manyfold. Second, never depend on it to define the research agenda or methodology. Your innovation-based input is needed with critical thinking to do meaningful research. And finally, don't underrate citations. Know how to separate the chaff from the wheat. Use AI to help you do this. And we will talk more about improper utilization of citations, how in the world of AI this has ballooned into a major issue. We will talk about many examples of where AI has been of great benefit. We will also talk about innovations, their relationship to research in the ensuing discussions.